Hey everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today we're going to do a very simple project. Now you guys all know that I can make the simplest of projects take a million years to do. I'm going to try not to do that today. However, this is a porcelain box that my friend Melba sent me, and I loved it so much. It was like a vintage looking color when I got it. I did spray paint it white with the Rust-Oleum Paint Plus Primer flat paint that I get from Home Depot. And so I sprayed the whole thing inside and out. No gloss over the outside of it. I don't like to gloss over the white because it tends to want to yellow. So I didn't want to do that. So I just used the white paint. It has a very nice finish. Not too flat. It doesn't look chalky really. It has a tiny bit of sheen. But anyway, it is the flat Rust-Oleum Paint Plus Primer in the can. And I'm going to show you. It's the only paint that I ever use on any of my projects, and this is it, you guys. So this is what I buy. I get it at Home Depot, so if you want to do a screenshot, now's the time to do it. And you can see Ultra Cover Paint Plus Primer, white, flat, and it's Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch. It's got a new can. The can is a little bit different than it used to be, but same stuff. And it works amazing. It has amazing coverage. I only sprayed one coat. That's it. And most things that I do, I only spray one coat unless it has a super dark finish. So this one was only one coat of the white. Really quick, let me show you guys this. I got these magnets, refrigerator magnets at the Dollar Tree. And I got a few different ones, and I just put rhinestones around this one. Is this not gorgeous? I love it. And I don't know what else I'm gonna do with that, but all I did was put the rhinestones around the edge, and I am just amazed at how beautiful this is. And all of them were beautiful, but they only had one of this particular magnet. I got a little glue on the front of that rhinestone there. They only had one in this particular saying and color, but I'm going to go to another Dollar Tree and see if I can find more of these because I absolutely love them. They're very high quality, and they've got the big magnet on the back because these rhinestones really make this kind of heavy. But actually, let me go real quick and I'll show you the other ones that I got, and I'm hoping there's even more variations as well, because I would sure like to have other ones other than just the ones that I got. But they are all very pretty. So I did get one of each of the ones that I saw. There was one that wasn't that pretty, so I didn't grab it. But they had this one, Saved by Grace. I did buy a couple of these because I do love that saying. So that's one of my favorite sayings. Faith, Hope, Love. And this one's in the purple flowers. But look at how pretty the flowers are on these. They're just gorgeous. And then I also got this one, Be Grateful. And it's beautiful too. And they're porcelain. So yeah, they're super duper pretty, you guys. And I wanted to show you guys that I was working on one of those. And I thought you guys might be interested in going over and finding some because you could really dress them up and make a nice little gift for somebody. You know, especially someone who is very spiritual that would enjoy receiving something pretty that they can put on the refrigerator. So yeah, I love it. I'm gonna probably, I might put a little bit of glass glitter on the front of it. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. I just wanted to get the rhinestones on. So back to our project. So this is going to be an easy project, and you ask, why is it going to be easy, Carol? Because I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4 items. I'm debating on whether or not I want to add these colored porcelain flowers into the top of this. And you'll see in a minute, these are not stuck to this. They're all, the ones that are already on there are white. And I just started kind of placing these around to see if maybe it might be really pretty to add some colored flowers around inside of the bouquet that's on here. And I think it looks really, really pretty. So I will decide at the end of doing the rest of the stuff. So that's what it looks like, just white. And it's beautiful just white on its own. But this would add a pop of color and just, I think, finish it off really nicely. I love these porcelain flowers, and yes, I will be using up a lot of my porcelain flowers. I'm going to have to buy another package because I just opened my second package that I bought of 100 flowers. So you can see I've used almost all of the first package that I bought. So I love these flowers. They're gorgeous, gorgeous in everything you put them in, and they just class everything up. So I really love them. I will put a link to these flowers, whether or not we use them. I will put a link to these flowers. I get them on Etsy, and I'll make sure that you guys have access to that link as well. They get them to me quickly. They don't sit on the orders. And speaking of orders and sitting on, for those of you who are waiting for your orders to get out, they will be going out tomorrow, Monday, actually Wednesday at the very latest. So I just want to let you know those are the orders that came in and are a little bit behind. The one that's going out on, one of them that I'm talking about, I actually have until Monday to get it out in Etsy standards. So it's not really late, but I don't like to wait the entire time that I have to get my packages out if I don't have to. But with Jeff having had his stroke recently and everything that's been going on, it's just been, things have been a little bit chaotic. So what we have here is we have some heart lace that my friend Robin sent me. Isn't that pretty? I love this lace, and she sent me a yard of this, or actually maybe 2 yards. I think I got 2 packages of 1 yard each. I'm using my 6mm rhinestone chain, and this is the AB rhinestones that Kim sent me. My porcelain flowers, and this is one of my handmade butterflies. And I just made this one very simply, not a lot going on there. So I just wanted sort of a more plain kind of butterfly, and it's in mostly greens. So I figured, you know, whatever I did with it, you know, it would go nicely on this. So that's it, you guys. So what we're going to do is we are going to first hot glue the lace around this, and it's going to go right around this top. I want to get it turned the correct way here, so just give me a second to make sure I've got it the right way. Okay, and actually what I want to do is I can see there's a couple of little you know, pieces where it was connected to another piece at one time. I'm assuming that's why they get those. I'm just going to get these little strays off of here before I get started. I could use my torch. It would probably work a lot quicker. But there's not a lot of them, and it's not a super long piece, so rather than risking the torch burning something, I'll just do this time. And I've already cut these to size, you guys. I measured them around the heart, and I cut them to size in order to save time. So, I've got my glue gun all heated up. I'm definitely going to need more glue because we're almost out of that. So, I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to leave the lid on top of the heart to do this because it's a little bit closer to me. And hopefully my lighting is working well for you guys. I got my new light that Sherry sent me, and I love it. And that's just going to make noise, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop that off of there. We don't need it. And this will just sit nice and still. And I can spin it a little easier. And yes, my glue is a little bit brown because it's a little bit burnt in there because it's been on for a little bit. It's been waiting for me. Okay. And I did that a little too slow, so of course this glue over here sort of went cold on me. So only do small sections. So what you need to do, you guys, best way to get something like this that you want to alter, and use your imagination, you guys. It doesn't have to be a heart. It could be a butterfly shape or something else. I just thought this heart was very, very pretty, and I really wanted, it would have been great for me to do this as a Valentine's project, but I was not prepared to get a video out for Valentine's Day with everything that's been happening. So that's okay. It's still Valentine's month, right? So the month of February, I can do as many hearts as I want. And really, any time of the year. I love hearts. I love, love, love hearts no matter what. It's always been a thing for me. My best story about hearts is that my daughter was born in the month of February. She was due on Valentine's Day, but she came a few days early. She came on the 11th of February, and so because her birthday was in February, me, the mother that I am, I love hearts and I love pink. I would decorate for her birthday parties in hearts and pink almost every year when she was pretty little, just because I loved it and I thought she loved it too. So when my daughter was much older, she said, "Mom, can I tell you something?" And I said, "Sure, honey, what's up?" She goes, "Do you know that I hate hearts and I hate the color pink?" And I went, "You're kidding me, right?" And she goes, "No. And you used to decorate for my birthday every year in pink hearts." And she goes, "I hated it, Mom." And I said, "Why didn't you tell me?" She never ever told me because she didn't want to hurt my feelings. That's how sweet she is, or was, and still is. Absolutely, my daughter is amazing. And then we're gonna, this rhinestone chain is gonna go right around here. So I thought about doing it without the lace, but I kind of like the way the lace kind of edges the heart. So what we're gonna do though is we're going to use a little bit of hot glue and a little bit of our Fix-All adhesive. Actually, you know what? I've got some E6000 here. Maybe we'll go with the E6000 this time. So let's start putting this on here, and I'm just gonna try and get it to kind of touch the heart and the fabric a little bit. I'm going to leave a couple of spots where I can pop some hot glue in there. So we're just going to kind of go around the whole thing. And you do want to do this as quickly as you can, because the E6000 does start to set up fairly quickly, and I really need to skip some spots here if I want to put the hot glue on there, because the hot glue and E6000 do not like each other. So we're going to go just like that. Get our lid back on our glue here so that it doesn't ooze out on us. And I'm going to start with a little dot of hot glue right there for this first little rhinestone. so that we can kind of get started here. And actually, I probably didn't even need to put hot glue anywhere else, but I'm going to, just because then as it comes around, it'll have places where it can stick and stay, and it's not going to slip. Since I left those spots, we will use them. And make sure your rhinestones are pointing up nicely. And that was a bad spot for hot glue because the rhinestone wasn't even right there. Put a dot right there. And again, I've got to be aware of making sure the rhinestones are pointing up and not all over the place. I will still have a little bit of time to arrange them a little bit once I get it all the way around the heart. So I'm not too worried about it. Because the E6000, at least with that, you do have some extra working time to play with it. Okay, so there we go. It looks amazing. Is that not amazing, you guys? Look at that. It's just beautiful. So there's that part of the lid. Now at this point, what I was originally going to do is I was going to put the butterfly on there and call it a day. But then when I got to thinking about my porcelain, my other porcelain flowers, I thought, no, you know what, if I added a pop of color to it, it would just make it that much better. So that's what we're going to do, you guys. We're going to add our pops of color. Decide which flower do we want in the middle. I think I'm going to go with this pretty bright yellow one. And we're using all colors. We're not going to go with one specific color theme. I want it to be colorful. I want it to be just kind of all over gorgeous. I'll put the purple one here, and I'm just putting hot glue on these for now to get them in place. And that way they will sit there until I'm ready to go on to the next step. And I think I want this blue right here next to the yellow one, just kind of like that. So, like that. Okay. Some will overlap, some will not. Some will kind of go under these other ones, and some will not. I just want to make sure that I'm kind of rotating my colors around so that I'm not using all the same colors in the same general areas. So that's kind of the one thing I am trying to be mindful of. That looks good there. I touched this one with some glue that was on my fingernail, so it stuck to it. That's okay, I'll be able to get that off, no problem. I want to say thank you to those of you who, I had someone who purchased my little puppy dog that I made in my Monday video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that was, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember who bought that cute little puppy dog. I had a couple of orders. It was, it was Diane Giroux bought my puppy dog. I was thinking she bought something else. She did. She bought a few things, but I was thinking it was somebody else that had bought the puppy dog. But it was my friend Diane. Thank you, Diane. And Diane also bought a couple of other things in my shop. So that was a nice little surprise when I saw that this morning. So thank you, Diane, and thank you to, I believe it was, let's see, thank you to Rita, Diane, and I also have an order here from Maria, and I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for your generosity. You guys really, I am overwhelmed by everyone's generosity, and you know, those of you who've been shopping in my store and supporting my channel and sending me packages. I mean, goodness gracious, I am overwhelmed. Honest to goodness, I am overwhelmed by everyone's generosity. I don't know how I got to be so lucky and so blessed. I really don't. Yeah, we're going to go purple right in here. And we're about to run out of glue, so let's get that in there first. That one fits in there just perfectly. I want to try and get the bigger flowers in there first and get them arranged, and then sort of work around that with the smaller flowers. Let me see how I want this to go here. I definitely feel like I want this pink one to go back here, but I'm having trouble getting it to sit still. Well, I'll just set it just like that. And then, let's see, we're gonna go purple right there. I like that right there. Or do we want to go pink right there? And then purple up in there. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Put the purple one up top. Right there. I'm trying to remember where I had this blue one. And these are actually not all in the same places I had them before. Obviously, I can't remember exactly where I had everything. That's impossible. At least for my brain it is. Oh, here I have a little white one that's pretty. I mean, I know I'm adding a white one, but it's also got pink and green in it, so... that will be pretty right in there. Oh, goodness. There you go. Perfect. And we'll put a little blue one right there. I'm just going to put a dot of glue down there and set that little blue flower right on top. And I have a teeny tiny little yellow one that I want to get over here somewhere. I think we'll put it next to this little blue one. And these teeny tiny ones, like this yellow one here, are from the ones that my friend Melba sent me. She sent me a little box with a whole bunch of the tiny ones. And oh, so now I have a new thing that I need to get. I need to get more of the teeny tiny ones, because they are amazing to set into, you know, all these little spots where you need something little to go next to the bigger flowers or what have you, or of course on my little projects and my butterflies and things like that. So, and I'd imagine I'm going to go through the ones that Melba sent me rather quickly, so I'm going to have to check my the Etsy store that I got my flowers from, and see if they have the teeny tiny ones. These are all the teeny tiny ones, and then some of my leaves and stuff. I feel like I need to put maybe a purple one over here, and that one fits in that spot absolutely perfectly. Just like that. This one I didn't glue down. There were a couple of them I didn't glue down, so I need to kind of go around and find them and glue them in. That one's glued. I think the rest of them are. I feel like I caught most of them as I was going. I'll put a little pink one right there next to the yellow one. And I'm going to get a little blue one, maybe like right there. Hopefully I can get it in there. That's the hard part in some of these spots, because it's like really tight. That should be good. And I got to make sure I get all of my little glue strings off of here before I start squeezing the resin in and painting that on. And I've got a couple of bits of glue that's kind of like inside in between the flowers and stuff, so just need to make sure I find all of those and get them out of there. Okay. And I love that they even, you know, managed to make sure that each of these little flowers, the majority of them, have a leaf attached to them as well. And I love that they did that. And I don't know if the seller that I buy these from hand makes them herself, or if she buys them and resells them, because the reason I say that is that I've seen a whole lot of sellers with these exact same flowers. So my guess is that they're not just, they may be handmade, but they're not handmade by the seller that I buy them from. So she's got a lot of them in stock. Most times, I mean, there have been times where I've checked in and it's like, okay, we're running low. So I know I need to, you know, get them fairly quickly. I think the last one, that I'm going to put in, I think we'll put it, I don't know, not there. I feel like it needs to go off to the side somewhere. Maybe right there. That looks like a good spot because that spot needs a little something. So we'll just put a little dot of glue right there. And put that right in there. And I think that looks very, very pretty. Just added the color that we need. And then I also, you know what, before I go too crazy, I also want to put this butterfly in there. And I'm not going to waste any of my porcelain flowers by covering them with a butterfly. So I think this little purple one needs to come out because I think that's where my butterfly is going to go, is right in that spot. I'm going to put the blue one back. Just heat up the glue again and place it right back in there. No, I'm going to take that glue off because it kind of oozed a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. Right there. And then I think our butterfly is going to go right here. I think that's a beautiful spot for her to go. I mean, I could put the butterfly like up in a corner somewhere or down here. I don't care for it. I like it on top with the flowers, kind of riding on top of the flowers. So I'm going to, I think, leave it at this and maybe put I feel like I need that one more purple flower. I just need to find a spot. That's a good spot for it. Let's see. Or I could put it right there. That's actually a good spot right there. And the butterfly is not going to cover it up. Yeah, I think I'll just put that one right there. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, you guys, is we're just going to take our resin, and I'm not using gloves this time, you guys, because all I'm doing is I'm going to squeeze it and let it just sort of drizzle down in there, and then I'm actually going to go over these and I'm going to paint all of these flowers with resin. So they're all going to be the shiny porcelain look. So any extra resin that I'm pouring over these, it's okay, because it's all going to get brushed in and brushed over it. And that way all these flowers are going to stick really, really well. They're not going to come out by any means, because they're going to be nicely resined in there. And everything's going to look very... Oh, I didn't glue this one down. Darn, that's okay. We're just going to put some resin in there and pop it right in there. I'm going to have to look at that one more time though, because I'm not sure that I got it just right. And I'm just squeezing a little bit of resin just around the edges here. We're going to grab our paintbrush over here. I don't like that one. Well, we're just going to grab this one here. And we're just going to start kind of going over the top of all of these. Brushing inside and getting to the insides. And I'm going to try and brush this so that it doesn't drizzle right down over those rhinestones too. This flower, I've got to make sure, I've got to remember to make sure it's in the exact right spot before I put it under the lamp. So it's not hard to paint over these and just get that resin all over those flowers to shine them up. Make them look nice and porcelain-y, kind of like china, like good china. And that's pretty much what it looks like when you cover these flowers with the resin. And then once we're done with all of this and we've got it, you know, we've put it under the lamp and we've cured it and all that good stuff, we can go back over it again and make sure that we got everything covered with the resin. I've got a little bit of a glue string right there. And this is the fun part, actually. I love doing this. Getting everything all touched up and it's painting, but not really. So I don't have to be perfect. I don't mind painting. I don't mind using a brush or whatever. to do stuff, but I used to be very, very good at detail painting. Like I would paint, you know, faces on little teeny tiny faces when me and my mother-in-law used to do clay artwork. We used to make these little dolls and things. And she would make her dolls and then I would paint their faces on for her because I could see well. And until I get glasses, I am not going to see real well. So I don't try to do any delicate painting or anything like that right now. It's just not going to come out nicely. And I mean, I will do it. I will paint a face on something, or I will do, you know, whatever I need to do to finish something, but I don't enjoy doing it because it's very hard for me, and sometimes I have to touch and retouch and, you know, redo things, and yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But that's what happens when you get older and your eyesight starts to go a little bit. Okay, come on. I'm trying to use the last bit in this bottle. But I don't want it to, I also don't want it to puddle up in these flowers. So I'm trying to push it out of any of the ones where it kind of looks like it's sort of started a puddle, because we don't want that. But we do want the flowers to be nice and shiny. So, and if you don't put enough on, it'll look cheesy. So you need to put enough, just not too much. And I don't think I need to hold on to that anymore. I think we've got enough that we can move it around if we need to. I mostly just have kind of a couple spots on the white that I want to make sure is covered well. So I'm kind of pulling it out of these flowers that might have a few puddles in them, and then painting it onto the white. Got some really cool mica powder from Sherry that she sent me that I used on one of my butterflies, and it's really, really pretty. And I would actually love to use it on something like this, but I don't want to risk it on this piece because I'm not really sure if it would be too much on the flowers or whatever. So I don't want to use it on this, but I'm going to test it on something first and see how it comes out. But I think we've got everything. I think I got it all. So let me move my brush over. There's my other brushes. I just found them. I see one spot. It's got a puddle. No puddles, no puddles. And right there, just a little bit. And let's get our little pink flower in where we want her to be. I want her right there. She just does not want to stay. Let me turn this around and see if I can find a friendly spot to place it. Right there is where I want it. Ooh, right there. That's it. That's the spot. And I see a piece of glue. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my resin over to the other side of my table. I'm going to take the top of my UV lamp here that I can take apart, and I'm just going to hover it over the top of this and let it sit under there for 5 minutes, you guys. So I'm going to let you guys wander off, I'll do my thing, and with the magic of YouTube, I will be back momentarily. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we still have the bottom half that we have to resin. So I am going to paint some resin on like 1/2 of it and set that up, and then I'll do the other half. And this time I took out my other resin. This is some resin that Gwen got me. This is my J. Diction. And you guys can see sort of, there's really not much difference between this and the Let's resin. They're both great resins, and I actually enjoy working with both of them. So I'll just show you kind of with this one, that this one works well, and I will put a link to both on Amazon so that you guys can decide. The J. Diction is a little less expensive than the Let's resin. I find, though, that they both really work very well. So either one would be a good buy for you. Let's see, I'm just going to set this down here, move this out of the way, set this down here, and try not to let it start dripping too much and getting all over the table here. We don't want that. And I'm not doing the bottom side of it right now. That I'll do last, and I'll do off camera, because you guys don't need to see me resin the bottom. It's going to be just the same thing. And actually, I may just go around this whole thing now and just get the whole thing under the lamp. I think it'll sort of, if I spin it here and there, it'll get all sides pretty well. It's just a little harder for me to hold on to this way. Say a little prayer that I don't drop it. That would be a disaster. That would make me cry, and you guys don't want to see me cry on camera again. If you remember, I cried when Holly got a hold of some of my things and took them out in the backyard and tore them up. That was devastating, but I was able to recover from that and fix the things that she tore up. I redid them. One of them was one of my favorite boxes that I had done, and I was just, I was just devastated. It was very sad. But in the end, you know what? It's just stuff, right? You guys, she's just a baby, and she's learning, and she's doing much better with not chewing things up now. She mostly just chews on her toys, and that's okay. We're good with that. I just have to keep a good close eye on her so that she doesn't swallow strings and things like that. So we kind of try and watch her when she's playing with her toys. I mean, we can't see her every moment of every day, but we try to keep our eye on her when she's playing with her toys, if we can. Okay, so I got all the way around that. So let's see if I can get this. I'm going to take my light apart here. And make sure this isn't going to touch. It's not touching, but boy, it's close. We're just going to hold it for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, So next, what we're going to do is we are going to get our brush back out. We're just going to take our resin here and just add little drops here and there, and we're gonna put some glass glitter around on some of these flower petals. Not all of them, just some of them. Some of the bigger ones, not the little ones. The little tiny ones, I want to keep those clean, so to speak. But these big petals, yeah, I think I'd like to see some sparkle on them. Okay, and then maybe a little bit kind of off to the side on some of those flowers too. And I think that'll be plenty of resin. And I've got my Craft Diamond Dust here, and we're almost out in this jar, and I'm going to do this over the trash can, you guys. I'm just going to tap my spoon and just kind of shake it on there. Not too much. We don't want too much of it on there. We just want to add some pretty sparkle around. But make sure you get enough so that it covers all those areas that you want it to hit. So just kind of angle your piece a little bit. Okay. Give it a little shake over the trash can. And that's kind of how that looks. See, the sparkle really adds something to your pieces, you guys. This is the bottom piece, and just so that you guys know, in case anyone's interested in purchasing this in my Etsy store, this is a vintage piece, you guys. So it is not perfect. It's not in perfect condition. The only thing that I have found really that's wrong with it, other than a few little like lumps and bumps here and there, which is just all in the making, is this one little crack that's out of it right here. So that's gonna stay in there. It's not coming out. It will be a note will be added on my listing in the description, so that anybody that buys it is going to know that that blemish is in there. And you know what? I don't care if I was going to, and I may end up keeping this for myself. I may not put it in my shop, because a lot of times I won't sell items that have blemishes like that, because I don't want to end up with a problem from a buyer that decides that they don't want something with a blemish in it. So yeah, I may end up keeping this one for myself. It is gorgeous enough that I would be like thrilled to keep this heart. I would be absolutely thrilled to keep it. So that would be no problem for me. So, and you can see how this is nice and shiny now. Looks like a nice porcelain box. And I do want to put this under the light just one more time here for a few minutes on the one side, just to make sure that one side feels a little bit more sticky to me. So I don't want to have that stickiness on there. I want to get it done. I mean, I probably will put it back under the light just to kind of try and, right here, what I'm doing, in case you're wondering, is I'm knocking off some of the pieces of glass that are sticking up a little bit on these flower petals. And I'm just barely tapping it, because I don't want a bunch of sharp glass pieces sticking up. And normally what I do, you guys, and I didn't do it this time, that's my bad, is I tap it with my fingers. After I put the glass glitter on something, I tap it down with my fingers just to flatten out the glass so that you don't have much of this stuff that kind of stands up. And I don't need to do this right now, really. I can do it off camera, but I want to show you guys, you know, you can do it after the fact. You're just breaking those little edges of the glass so that it's not going to be sharp. I mean, you just can't get away from it. You're going to have spots on here that there's little sharp pieces that you're just not going to find. When you use glass glitter, that's just the rule of thumb. It just is one of those products that you either love it or you hate it. I love the look that it gives things, but this is something that I would put on a high shelf, not anywhere where my grandkids would get a hold of it or anything like that. It would be placed up and out of the way and safely tucked into a place where it can be seen but not touched by the kids. So that is absolutely gorgeous. So now all we need to do, I did pull this butterfly out as well, and I'm starting to kind of think that butterfly looks really pretty, and so does that one, but I feel like because it's very kind of shabby chic, I think this is more of a shabby chic flower. So I'm kind of feeling like maybe this butterfly goes a little bit better. And with the blues that are in here, I think this goes better on this piece. So we are going to use this butterfly. And I think I'm going to put one little rhinestone in the center of her body. Or I could, you know what, I could put a flower. I think we'll go with a blue flower if I can find a little tiny blue flower. And here and there we have one. Just that little tiny blue flower. And we just need a dot of resin. And we'll drop that little blue flower right in the middle there. And pull that out. Set that right under the lamp for a second. Okay, and that should be good. And this I'm going to set aside. And this we are going to put right there. So let's add a little touch of glue. I think right there is going to do it. Or it's going to sit on top of that one flower. Oh, maybe I didn't put the glue right in the right spot. Oh well, that's okay. So it's going to sit just like that. I like it just like that. Or maybe I should turn it just a tad. Yeah, that's better. So I'm going to drizzle a little bit more resin right in there. Make sure that's touching. And maybe a little bit back in there. And I'm sure the light will hit that in some sort of way. I'm going to just kind of put it under the light and sort of angle it so that it gets both of those spots. And that's going to be plenty of resin to hold that on there, but I may end up putting some more on the other side just to make sure it's held on really well wherever it's touching something on the porcelain. So still not as short as I wanted it to be, but I don't think this is a terribly, terribly long video. I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, it's on there real well. I'm going to put a little bit right in through there. And there. Okay. Now I think I've got it. And I'm just going to hold this over it for a minute here. Make sure that light is getting into that center area there where we need it to go. And again, I mean, that's good enough for now. I will put this back under the light again and give it some more curing time, but we don't have to do that right now. So, put our lid on our box, and there we have it. Is that not gorgeous, you guys? Oh my word. I would buy this in a minute. You guys, I have so many of these kinds of things around my house. It's insane. You'd probably die if you saw all the stuff that I've got going on around my house. I'm going to put this like this. And I am going to let that go for about 5 minutes, you guys, and then I'll be right back. Okay, you guys. That is all done. Now, I do feel like it needs one last thing. You know me and my bows. I feel like it needs a bow at the center of the heart. So I am going to put a lace bow right here in the middle. Just like that. And I'll find something to put in the center of that, and we will be done. So we're just going to put a nice dollop of glue on there. Pop it into the center. And press it down really, really, really well. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And I've got a couple of pretty rhinestone pieces here in front of me that might work really well with this. One of the ones that I have is this cute little faux pearl heart, which kind of goes with the theme, although it's a little bit big, I feel. This might be too big as well. Wants to go right into the flowers. Gosh, what I might do better with is to take and put like a little flower and a little rhinestone piece, like kind of like that. That looks really pretty. Or maybe one of our other flowers, or one of our porcelain flowers. A little yellow one. Like that. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going to do. So, I'm going to take some hot glue and put a decent amount on that, and that's just going to come off to the side. And we're going to get a little bit of hot glue on our porcelain flower. Pop that right next to it and press those in good. Hold them down, hold them down. And there we go. That's it, you guys. That's all we're doing to this great little box. Isn't it amazing? Thank you, Melba. Yay! Everybody give Melba a great big hand and a big thank you with me, because she gave me a really great project to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I definitely did. What a fun project this was. And I love to do things like this. I love boxes of any kind. And so this was, when I saw it, my eyes got as big as saucers when I saw it in the box that she gave me, along with that violin, because that's another one that I'm going to be doing next. So I got really, really excited to do this project. So I hope you guys liked it. Thanks a lot for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and a comment, and let me know if you'd like to see more projects like this. And I would like for you guys to, in the comments, if you will, please, should I try and sell this or should I not try and sell it due to that little crack in the base? Or maybe just leave it up to something that I could sell to one of my subscribers if one of you is interested in it, and not put it in my regular shop. I can just do it through my PayPal if I want to do it that way. So I can do it either way. But that way I know that whoever buys it knows, you know, of the crack and knows that it's part of the piece and is okay with it. I know I would be. If I knew in advance, that wouldn't bother me a bit. So let me know what you guys think I should do. Should I keep it or should I sell it? So, and should I just put it on Etsy or should I just make it available to my YouTube subscribers? So again, I can put it in my Etsy shop and let everybody know that there is that minor little imperfection in it, and, you know, give them the choice as to whether or not they want to buy it with that that blemish. So yeah, it could go either way. So, but I don't want to have somebody buying it and then complaining when they get it that it was broken, because it was broken when I did it. So anyway, thanks a lot, you guys. Again, your prayers for Jeff for continued recovery from his stroke. Everybody, just be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Don't let it happen to you. There's things that we can do: eating better, exercising more, and taking the stress out of our lives, de-stressing, you guys. I think that's the biggest problem these days, is everybody's so stressed out about everything and so busy. Nobody stops to smell the roses anymore. I know I don't. I pretty much work 24/7 when I'm not here working on my Etsy or my YouTube videos. I'm working on my Etsy shop, or I'm working at my regular job. So it's a lot, and I'm up till 2, 3 o'clock every morning, and getting up at around 8 o'clock in the morning when it's time to get up. So, and then do it all over again. But I like to work. It does de-stress me to do these videos and these crafts. So for me, I enjoy it. But anyway, take care of yourselves, you guys. God bless you all. I love you all, and I appreciate every single one of you. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, I guess that's it. God bless you. And stay tuned for pictures on the back end. Bye-bye, everybody.